And so I want to talk a little bit about parenting today because, let's face it, parenting is the most important job any of us have ever signed up to do. It's the longest job you'll ever have. And it's the most important because we're raising little people to eventually become adults one day. And we need to take responsibility for that. For me, I've been parenting for 19 and a half years. My oldest son is 19 and a half. I have a 14-year-old son as well. And my little guy is 3.5. So, yeah, there's this huge gap in time between my youngest and my oldest. And sometimes I sit back and I'm reflecting on life and I'm like, wow, like the opportunities that my youngest son has compared to what my oldest son's opportunities were are like sometimes night and day. And I mean, that's because you know, I did the work. And the kind of mother I am today compared to the mother that my oldest son grew up with, again, it's night and day. And it's because I learned and I did the work and I learned to do things better. And I'm still learning to do things better because, let me tell you, this parenting thing isn't easy, even after 19 years. So here we are 3 kids later, and I'm still like, oh crap, right? What am I doing? But I've recognized one of the things that I did with my older boys way too much was I did everything for them. And I did everything for them because, God, I love them. And I was willing to not have that argument with them for them to clean their room. And it would be just easier for me to do it. So I would do it. I enjoy making breakfast for my kids in the morning because I enjoy making food for my kids. And it's easier if I do it. Yes. Just one second. So I guess what I'm trying to say is my kids didn't really have a whole lot of responsibility for themselves as they were growing up. And my children also have ADHD, so I had to do a lot of learning and research and sort of become like the frontal lobe for them and do those functioning for him. Sorry. So I guess my point is I did a lot of telling them what they should do or doing for them. I think I did a lot more of doing for them. And that's not good. Too much of doing for them means they don't do for themselves. And I mean, lately I'm of that older generation that's looking at the new generation going, oh my God, what happened, right? Why, kids, not all kids, but we have this growing epidemic, I would almost call it, of kids that don't want to work and are very entitled. And I ask myself, well, why not, right? And I mean, I was raising very self-entitled kids that, basically were used to mommy doing everything for them. They didn't even have to ask. Like, heck, they didn't even have to think about what they needed because I would just do it, right? That'll change for me when I started working in mental health about 6-7 years ago. And I was on my placement, so I was with my supervisor, and we went to the drop-in center in the community that I was working in. And we were talking to Sister Catherine that was there, and she said, these kids have no life skills. They don't know how to cook a meal. They don't know how to cash a check. They don't know how to wash the laundry. They don't know the importance of hygiene. And I was taken aback. And as we left, I looked at my supervisor and went, oh my God. That's what I'm doing to my kids. So anyways, I vowed to go home that day and to make some changes in my house. And we did. And changes are never easy for anyone. And of course my kids resist it. And let me tell you, sometimes their fighting crap works. Because I'm like, forget it. Like, I just don't have the energy to fight with you right now. It would be so much easier if I just do your laundry for, like, do it myself. But from that day, I've been aware of it, and I've made some changes to try to do it better and to remind myself that I'm supposed to be teaching these kids life skills so that when they are adults, they know how to do and take care of themselves. So guess what? It's kind of my job to have that argument with them. Now, it's not okay for me to have a name-calling, swearing, yelling, screaming match with them because, come on, that's not respectful. That's not respectful for anybody, right? That's not how we're supposed to behave. But I do have the very firm, you can be as pissed off as you want right now, but you are going to make sure that your laundry gets done, and that's your job. Or you can stomp your feet all day, and you can get up every morning. I just recently had this one. You can get up every morning, pissed off, hating your life because you got to go to summer school for the next 3 weeks. But you will get up every day, and you will go to summer school. So it is your choice, whether you want to get up and be pissed off every morning for the next 3 weeks, or find a way to deal with it. But you're going to go, and I'll have the fight with you every single day about it. Happy to report that my son is smart enough to make better choices and recognized after a few days that waking up and being miserable because you have to go to summer school wasn't going to change the fact that he was still going to have to go to summer school. So no, did he like it anymore? No, didn't make summer school any better, but he just found a way to deal with the fact that it was going to happen. So, you know, for those of you that have a toddler or in the toddler stage right now or recently been in the toddler stage, you know every day I'm having a war with that guy right there. Right there. Right there. And let me tell you, so many times of the day, it's so much easier for me to just be like, oh, God, I'm just going to let you have this one, or I'm just going to do it for you. And it's a struggle. It's a struggle for me to stop and go, wait a minute, this one's important. So this one, you know, I have to have the fight on. And probably most of them are. I'm happy to report that, you know, because he's going to school in September, we've been working on making sure that he can do things at school. So he's been having to get himself dressed every morning. And so I assist him in doing that by being in the room. But it's interesting and amazing, and it's been so easy for me to just get him dressed because it takes way less time if I do it. And it's quick and it's over with. Even if he's fighting, it gets done much faster. But I'm having to remember that he needs to be able to do this, and it's a skill. Being able to get yourself dressed is a skill. So, you know, each morning I make sure that we have 10-15 minutes for him to get dressed. And it's been going pretty well. What's going to happen now? Yeah, what's going to happen now? I don't know. So some mornings he fights about it, and that's okay. We'll have the fight. And other mornings he doesn't, because he's actually quite proud of himself when he does get dressed, and he is finished, and he's managed to get his shirt on properly. You know, and then that's the reminder that it's worth it. Anyways, speaking of parenting, I just wanted to share that with you. I think we do way too much for our kids. One of the big issues I did for my kids in helping them manage their ADHD was being that frontal lobe for them. There should have came a point in time when I should have started to teach them how to take over and to be the frontal lobe for themselves. So that's all I wanted to talk about today, was that I'm learning, I continue to learn because that's my job as a parent. Because my job is to continue to learn to be the best mom that I can be and give these kids the best start and the best chance at being productive, positive, responsible adults. And so just wanted to put that little reminder out there, and I actually better need to get back to my kids. Have a great one. Bye.